Namo Phat, good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The first mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I'm determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to condone any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, or in my way of life. Today we're reading When Friendliness Fails, the first half of it, by Ajahn Thiradhammo from his book Working with the Five Hindrances. It's not uncommon sometimes for friendliness to not seem to work. Either we cannot connect with it or it does not flow naturally. We may feel discouraged. That's the medicine the Buddha gave, but it doesn't work. My experience is that it does not work for one of two reasons. We are not applying it in the right place, or we're not applying it in the right way. For example, somebody says something to you which you take to be an insult, and you find yourself steaming with anger. Then, as a devout Buddhist, you immediately apply friendliness meditation to the person who has insulted you. May they be well, may they be free from suffering. Obviously, they need friendliness since they are so imperfect as to have insulted you. But they walk away, and you're left with your own disturbance. Although you've sent friendliness to them, the turmoil is still going around in your mind. The technique doesn't seem to be working, so maybe we have to do some homework. The first place to bring friendliness is your own anger, not as an antidote to it, but to provide some non-afflictive space around it in order to see the bigger, non-contracted picture more clearly. If you can look mindfully at what is going on, perhaps you begin to see things differently. What really happened? Perhaps you heard wrongly. Perhaps it wasn't the other person's fault. Your own confusion and self-doubt are stirred up. Aha! Maybe the real cause of the upset is in your own personal history or of self-doubt. You heard them call you an idiot and it touched a sore spot. If they'd called you an oaf or some other name, it would be no problem. But calling you an idiot triggers all your insecurities around your intelligence and stirs up some deep uncertainties in yourself. What is this aspect of yourself which is being so annoyed or irritated? Within yourself is where friendliness can be most beneficial and effective. However, often that is the last place we look. We are often very quick to deflect the cause of pain outside ourselves. Ajahn Chah would constantly emphasize bringing it back inside, to keep looking at the source within ourselves. Or as the saying goes, when you point your finger at someone, notice that 3 fingers point back at you. Of course, the self is instinctively defensive. However, now that we have more mindfulness and wisdom, we know these activities of self better and don't fall for them so easily. Thus, the first place to apply friendliness is to your own self-reactions. This short-circuits the reactive syndrome and can then allow an opening up to the causal processes involved in self-making. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me today.